From our Center for the Arts Studios, this is your Ashland University Sports Update. I'm Tom Prizeman.
And I'm Kate Siefert. Thanks for tuning in.
The Ashland University baseball team has been chosen to repeat as GLIAC Southern Division champions by the 2016 GLIAC preseason coaches poll. AU received 10 of the 12 first-place votes, while Wayne State and Northwood were the two teams who also received one first-place vote each. Ashland went 38-19 last season and won its first ever GLIAC Southern Division baseball championship. The softball team was chosen to place third in the conference behind only Wayne State and 1 point away from Saginaw Valley State. The Eagles were 39-10 overall and 21-5 in the conference.
The women's basketball team defeated Findlay last night 78-67, making their record 23-1 overall. Their first loss took place last week, but they haven't looked back since then. We talked to sophomore forwards Lena Snyder and Andy Doherty, who gave us an update on the season as the GLIAC play comes down the line.
I think we all took it to heart and took ownership that we didn't play as hard as we could. We watched film, and Coach said film doesn't lie, and we were all kind of trotting up and down the court. We weren't running as hard as we could and giving our best that we could. And then it was kind of a wake-up call to going into Malone, and Malone just kind of got all the energy that we had stored up, and we put it on to Malone, and it ended up in a great win.
It was a wake-up call. I mean, no one wanted to lose, but you have to take the loss and learn something from it. We learned that we need to play a lot harder, and that we can't take, every team we play is going to come out at us with their best shot, and we need to be ready for that. So I think in practice we're just challenging each other a lot more, and just being ready for every opponent is big for us.
We won and we got those wins, but I think going into this round we just need to focus on just putting in our best effort and just unbelievable energy.
When we played them the first time, we weren't necessarily playing our best basketball. So we came out with 2 wins, thankfully, but we need to have a better start and have our energy overwhelm them at the beginning. But they're 2 very good teams as well, and we need to play them.
We obviously take winning at home very seriously. We protect our home court, so that is a big deal to us. And winning a national championship is, as cliche as it sounds, that's the ultimate goal, and that's what winning every game to get to that, and not experiencing what we experienced at Walsh again.
The men's basketball team is looking to make history as they approach their last GLIAC matchups. Their most recent victory was against the Findlay Oilers last night, a 67-64 victory that helped secure the 20-4 Eagles a share of the Southern Division lead. And now the team is looking to keep their winning streak going to close out the regular season. Junior guard Wendell Davis sat down with Kate to update us on the season.
One of the biggest things was offensive rebounds. They got a lot of offensive rebounds against us, and their effort energy was just a lot higher than ours. So coming into this next game, 2 biggest things will be offensive rebounds and just making sure we give a good effort. If we go out there and we lay it all on the line, we should be able to live with the results and be happy with whether we win or lose. We just got to go in with a warrior mindset and think, just play as hard as we can and live with the results. I mean, the last couple of games we played hard, we gave it all we got, and the result for us was wins. So that's the biggest thing, is just coming out, making sure we're playing hard. Going into ODU, a couple of us guys are from home, so that'll be kind of a home-like feel for us. So that's to our upside. Me, Boo, Adrian, I'm trying to think, Nick, those guys, we all live at home, so we'll have a pretty good crowd there. Tiffin, I mean, that's a great team, and at their place, I think the last 2 years we lost there. So those are gonna be tough games, and you got to respect every opponent. And like I said, the energy level has to be at an all-time high. It's the end of the year. A lot of guys get tired, but we can't let tired beat us. To know that we get a chance to have an extra game at the end of the season, that's a wonderful feeling. And hopefully with these next 4 or 5 games, we can make sure we get those couple of wins and have a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. We're trying to make this a special year. The biggest thing for us right now, we keep talking about, is making history. So the last time I remember us actually having a winning season like this, I want to say it was the early 2000s. So the biggest thing right now is just making history and doing something that hasn't been done before. So it's a special moment. Sometimes you get caught up in it, but you got to snap out of it sometimes and think on to the next game. So we're ready to keep continuing and doing good things.
The swimming and diving team arrived in Michigan on Wednesday to compete in the GLIAC Championship meet. After days 1 and 2 of the meet, the women stand in 6th place and the men in 8th place. The GLIAC meet will continue throughout the weekend, and those swimmers who qualify will compete at the NCAA tournament March 8th through the 12th in Indianapolis, Indiana. Updates from the rest of the meet can be found on ashlandcollegian.com.
AU Wrestling takes to the mat tonight against the Tiffin Dragons for their last dual meet of the season. Up next, the team will travel to Indianapolis for the Super Region 2 meet, where the Eagles compete for spots at the NCAA Championships. We sat down with head coach John Hutchins to discuss the team's next meet and their preparations for the end of the season.
Tiffin, they've only been around in D2 for a little while, but they've got a pretty good program. I think they were 9th in the country last year, so I think they're ranked in the top 15 this year. We know that's going to be a tough one. You know, it's going to be a battle, but they're also a very physical team. They'll come in and try to, they'll do some things that are cheap, sometimes illegal. They'll punch you in the head, try to get you to you know, get out of your game, and so we just have to stay focused. It's interesting because, you know, our whole season comes down to one tournament, you know, and so there's the good and the bad of that. You know, if you've been doing well all year, it just doesn't matter anymore. You know, the good is if you struggled, then it doesn't matter either. So basically, what you've done during the year will get you seeded for the tournament, and then you just have to show up and perform. So it's a tough tournament. You know, the top 4 go to nationals, and so, you know, every year there's 1-point matches, overtime matches that will determine who goes and who doesn't. So we always try to peak for that. You know, we don't back off. We don't take it easy going through any competition during the year until we get to the end. Now we've been, you know, the last couple of weeks we've been kind of reducing our volume, but the intensity is still pretty high. So we'll come into practice and generally we'll go really hard. We just won't go very long, and then we'll kind of intermix that with days where we will have some rest days in there, and then because we're still 3 weeks away now. So as we get into the last 2 weeks, we'll back that off a little more. So this is kind of our last week of intense practices. As you go into the regional tournament, that's kind of what it's all about, you know. And our goal is not just to get as many as we can. Really, we gauge how many people we think have a legitimate shot, and our goal is 6, you know, to get 6 guys through. So you don't always usually reach every single person, you know, that you can, but that would be the goal if we could.
Each week on the Eagle Sports Update, we highlight one of our athletes who excels on the court. This week, AUTV 20's Haley Hieronymus sat down with senior women's basketball player McKenzie Miller.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with our spotlight, McKenzie Miller, senior basketball player. Thank you for joining us today, McKenzie.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
As one of 2 seniors on the team and as a senior captain, how have you seen your leadership grown over the years?
Yeah, I came in my freshman year and I really didn't see the floor, so I was kind of just a role bench player. So coming from there till now, my leadership has grown. I'm a captain now. I'm seeing the floor more. I have more responsibility among the team and just in the locker room and everything like that.
And while you may not be the leading scorer of the team, you always have those moments where you have crucial plays and you have crucial points that really impact the game. How does that momentum carry around the team?
Yeah, it's fun because those are the days that you dream of as a little girl, and those kind of plays in clutch times, you know, it brings a lot of energy to our team, and a lot of times if those plays happen, then the other team calls a timeout and our team runs out on the floor, and it just sparks everybody, so it just gets us going.
Now, you're the last player on the team that was on the national championship team 3 years ago, and you know how that feeling is to win. How are you going to lead your team to try and get them to feel that great feeling again?
Yeah, you know, every single person on this team, whether they're a freshman, whether they're a senior, they've bought into the program. So it's not like I have to be that person that's leading them, just myself, because, you know, I'm learning from those sophomores, I'm learning from those girls, and yeah, I'm just excited that I get to be part of like a lot of great different teams, you know. So yeah, it's just getting to see what we did my freshman year to now. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but the girls have bought in, so there's not much teaching that I have to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
The AU men's and women's track and field teams both ranked number 13 in the latest polls. The women moved up 2 spots this week, while the men moved down 3. The teams will split up this weekend and compete at the Grand Valley State Big Meet and the Findlay Elite Meet. Updates can be found from the meets at ashlandcollegiate.com. That's it for this edition of the AU Eagle Sports Update. I'm Tom Prizeman.
And I'm Kate Siefert. Thanks for watching.